So in this video, I'm going to show you some ways I like to alter jackets. I'm going to add cuffs to this jean jacket, to this Hollister jacket. I added a different waistband to it. And then the Ed Hardy jacket, I added new sleeves to it. So years ago, before I got into sewing, I cut off the arms on this Ed Hardy jacket. And now I kind of regret it because I like jackets that have the long sleeves to them. I don't like when jackets have that like little 1/4 inch. So now I'm just gonna show you how I added back that 1/4 sleeve or that half sleeve, whatever it's called, back onto the Ed Hardy jacket. So I had a shirt that I just didn't like how it fit, but I thought I would use the sleeves. So I'm just cutting up the sleeves. And a quick way to measure the right circumference of the gray sleeve and the blue sleeve, I just kind of put the gray sleeve into the blue sleeve, and then I just kind of move it around to see where the gray sleeve fits the best inside the blue sleeve. I'm sorry if I keep saying sleeve over and over again, but I hope you get the idea. You can see the gray sleeve fits the blue sleeve circumference pretty well. If you want to know if you did it right, just pull that sleeve out, and if you see the outside seams facing you, that means you did it right. So when you start the serge, you just want to make sure that the two fabrics are lying down flat and both of the fabrics are getting caught in the serger needles. And this is what the Ed Hardy jacket looks like once it's all done. So for this Hollister hoodie, I added a different type of waistband to the bottom of it. The original little gathering or waistband, I cut that off because it was just a little too tight around my hips. So I just added a different fabric to make it more roomier. So you want to go in with at least 1 or 2 yards of fabric when you go get it cut at Joann's. Just in case if you mess up, you still have extra fabric to work with. So now I'm just measuring. My cutting mat isn't that big, so that's why I did like multiple folds. But once I open it up, you can see that it's a much longer piece of fabric that can wrap around the circumference of the bottom of that hoodie. So I just fold over the fabric once, and I'm just pinning it. And now I just lay out the hoodie, and you want to make sure that you want to fold over the fabric twice like I did, so you're getting that long piece of fabric. Because there's been times when I just lay out the fabric and I cut it, forgetting about this fabric needing to be basically a circle and not just one little panel. So now I just serge the hoodie and that new snakeskin waistband. So once I come to the end of that waistband where the two ends meet, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and cut off the excess. And at this point, you can keep going back in and cutting little pieces of fabric in case the waistband isn't lining up perfectly with the hoodie. But once I got the waistband to match up perfectly with the bottom of the hoodie, I went back in with the little rolling scissors to make the edge straight and even, and then when I serge it, it'll just look more professional looking. Now I'm going to show you how I added these little cuffs to this jean jacket. So the top rectangle square was way too small to fit around the circumference of the armhole, so the bottom rectangle is what worked, and the measurements for that was about like over 12 inches long. And then depending on how thick you want that waistband to be, I did 6 inches just cutting the fabric, but then folding it, it turned into about 3 inches. So 3 inches of that fabric is what you're going to see on the outside. So this rectangle was one of the first rectangles I made, and these were just a little too short for the length of the armhole, but I'm still going to use this clip because it shows you how I'm making the cuff. So I'm just folding the fabric over on both sides, making sure that the folds are even and straight. Now I'm just going in with a zigzag stitch. And once you start sewing, there's a lot of line markers that help you make sure that what you're sewing is going to be straight. And then I'm just going to cut off the excess fabric. So now to make the cuffs look seamless and like they are already a part of the jean jacket, I am going to seam rip one of the seams on the jean jacket. So now I'm just lining up the raw edge of the jean jacket to the middle of the cuff. And one of the reasons why I stitched down the cuff first and not just going in with the fabric, because it's gonna help keep the fabric in that shape and then also help me make sure that the cuff is gonna be lined up and it's not gonna be like off center or like have a weird angle to it. So if it's easier for you to just sew on the cuff already folded over the raw cut of the jean, but I still have trouble lining things up, so it's easier for me to do one side at a time. So the inside of the jean jacket got the zigzag, but then when I fold it over, that second half of the cuff is gonna get a straight stitch just so everything can look seamless and professional. And the reason why I did a zigzag in the inside is because that jean fabric and that snakeskin fabric can still have a little bit of a stretch. So you can see once I turn it inside out, you can still see the black straight stitch. I'm just not that great with measuring, but if you try hard enough, you can probably get it to be seamless and have the two sides of the cuffs line up. But this is just something that I'm gonna wear, so I don't really care if there's like little imperfections in it. Now I'm just lining up the original seams of the jean jacket. And before I serge, I like to get rid of any of the other loose threads. So you can see there's more fabric of the cuff than the jean fabric. I like to do this in case I didn't measure it correctly. At least I have some extra inches of fabric to work with. Now I'm just going to serge back together that original seam on the jean jacket while also serging the cuff with the jean jacket. And now I'm going to show you how I like to finish off the chain thread. So going in with a quilting needle, you take the end of the chain thread and you're just going to put it inside the eye. And now you can put the needle in between the stitches. I like to go as much as I can, or as how long the chain thread is, just to extra secure it. I hope I inspired you and gave you some ideas on how to alter some of your jackets.